Hey, future bestsellers, Lisa Daly here. I'm the traditionally published author of 8 books, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my office. So if this is not your first time tuning in, you probably already know that I love to write at the beach. Unfortunately, it is hurricane season in Florida, and so I am here writing in my office. And as this office is fairly new to me, I thought perhaps you might like a tour. So even though the rest of my house is a little more understated, my office is very blue and cheerful and blue and pink and green and stripes and all of that stuff. And the reason for that is that it really does impact my mood. I find so much inspiration in that kind of beachy, tropical vacation lifestyle. So it really helps with my writing if my office environment makes me happy in the same way. Kind of like it's a little mini writing cabana, because that inspires me to do the kind of work that I like to do best. I write romantic comedies. These are the kind of books that you're going to read when you're on vacation and you got a drink in one hand and you're sitting in the beach chair and you're laughing your ass off. That's my book you're reading, hopefully. Well, it's my book or it's Sophie Kinsella's book you're reading. Do that too. If you want to be in your writing space, if it feels good to be in your writing space, then you'll want to spend more time there. You'll write more books. Your office does not need to look like it was, designed by the Property Brothers. A lot of the author offices that I see on YouTube have they're very sort of clean and sleek, and that's awesome if that's what brings you joy and makes you feel inspired. For me, I want to hear the waves when I'm in my office. I want to feel like I still have a little bit of that vacation, tropical, ocean hammock kind of vibe. So I hope you enjoy my office tour and that you like it as much as I do. Come on in. I'm going to start right here at the doorway. A couple of years ago, my mom and I painted these little things because I thought they looked like typewriter keys. And it used to be on the outside of my office. Now it's on the inside of my office. Here's my set. You're used to seeing that every week. Chair, mandatory printer, beautiful desk. Lovely water view. So one of my favorite things is that I have these great framed vintage postcards of Florida. And I actually framed them on grass mat, which I think is pretty cool. So one of my other favorite parts about my office is that I have this great manuscript cabinet. So there are 20 drawers here. I have written 8 books. I'm working on my 9th. I love it. I think it's fun. It really goes with the room. And aside from that, it really inspires me to fill it up. So I want to do 20, do another 20, maybe 20 after that. So see, each one has a little manuscript and maybe the arc for a book. Oh, there's the hardcover. And I keep my notes and things like that in there, but I'm keeping a copy of every manuscript, any handwritten notes that my beta readers have made, and my mom and my Aunt Jerry, who are like the best readers ever because they give great feedback and also love. All right, so I really like my office to have that sort of vibe of the beach. So I have this super comfy chair. This was actually like my first adult piece of furniture, and I have kept it ever since because it's incredibly comfy. I got this like super cute flamingo pillow at this place called Davidson Drugs right on Siesta Key. And of course I have mandatory footrest. My mom and I made a cover for it. It's actually made out of a beach towel. So here is my whiteboard. This is just sort of a temporary whiteboard. So as you can see, I have my notes for my new book split into Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. In my old office, I actually had a fantastic setup where I had covered my entire closet doors with this massive giant whiteboard. And I'm still trying to figure out in this office where I can actually put my giant whiteboard. So this one is temporary. As you can see, it's not very pretty, but I'm thinking about this wall, just by the chair, right? You can kind of see that. Or I also have a pretty good sized space behind the door, as you can see there. Tour prop right there, 15 Minutes of Shame poster for my tour. All right, moving on. So my old office had quite a lot of book space. This one actually doesn't have as much. So I do have a really nice size, massive bookcase, which you have seen if you've watched my videos. So for fun, and because my office is in the love and relationships area of my home for feng shui, I decided to paint the inside of my bookcases this fabulous hibiscus pink, which I totally love. And as is mandatory for every author's office, I have an entire bookshelf of writing books. Fun straw hat on the top because I'm all about the beach. And I really like that vibe. You can see I just have like office supplies down here. My collection of ancient Macs, of which I have many because I've literally been using them forever. So moving on to my little mermaid here, who's kind of an inspiration for me. Now this thing is kind of fun. Look, it's like goes all the way around. I have another little whiteboard down there. You can see I've got like more stuff over here. And this bad boy's on wheels, so I can move it around whenever I need to. And I actually got, this is kind of a funny story because it's sort of one of a kind. This is something that I'd ordered from Pottery Barn, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, ages ago. And it came and it was all scraped up on one side. And so I called them and I said, hey, look, it's all scraped up. And they said, no problem, we'll send you a new one and we'll come pick up the old one. Well, they never came to pick up the old one. And then I called them, they said, oh no, just keep it, it's too expensive to send back. So, because the thing is like super heavy. And so I decided I was going to use it. So I actually put the two together. I stacked one on its side and it has like these great wheels, if you can see. Like, so it's super easy to roll around and it's absolutely fantastic. Like it stores so much stuff, plus super cute. All right, so this is where I keep things like, so here's a pitch book from, let's see, this one was the 15 Minutes of Shame tour. You look like I have a press kit in there, a bunch of different media angles. And this was something that I provided to my publisher to help them pitch the book. And it's also what I use. I actually have a background in advertising and PR. These are the plot notes. And we'll look over here at this too. These are the plot notes for 15 Minutes of Shame, which is my first novel that I ever wrote. And so I have like all these notes and little cards and like character sketches and all kind of stuff. And if you guys are interested, let me know and we will just like go through the whole book and you can see exactly how I plotted that out and also what kind of information I was working with. I have a sort of traditional file cabinet setup because I'm sort of old school in that I always keep a hard copy of my contracts and things like that. Oh, I have to show you something really special. This was my grandma Varney. She's my mother's mother, and the two of us were very close. She died when I was about 8 years old. And she always wanted an author in the family. And this is something that she told my mom and my aunt from the time they were really young. And so I felt this like incredible source of pride. When I published my first book, I sort of felt like she was like there with me because this had been something that was really important to her. And I have no idea why she wanted a writer in the family. Oh, I love this. So this is a jar of shells. Anytime I go to the beach, whether I'm by myself or with my kids, or with Mike, everyone knows that they have to bring me back a shell. It's like a little payment. And so I have shells from all over the world. Literally every time I have been to the beach, we pick up a shell. I just have like this little glass bowl of memories, and I have them all over my house because I'm at the beach a lot. I have a little handy storage bin down there that's just got some miscellaneous stuff, and my handy dandy printer. This is my inspiration board. So here's something really funny. When I first moved to Sarasota, there was this little article in the newspaper about how Stephen King had just moved in on Casey Key, which is the key right next to Siesta Key. And so I put this on my vision board. I literally saved this the whole time. I put this on my vision board like Stephen King and I were going to be neighbors. And it's funny because I actually do see him around Sarasota. And like keeping with my total beach theme, I actually have a cork board that's shaped like a surfboard. All right, and then my little Tiki Lounge is open sign. And then, let's see. Okay, I love this part. All right, I have my flamingo stapler because really no one should live without a flamingo stapler. Here's my desk, and I actually have like an awesome view of the water here. So I love this desk. I'll tell you why. Because you can keep your desktop like all nice and clean, but it has like this massive, look at this drawer. It's like this massive, massive drawer. And it's got little cubbies for everything. So I have my addictive collection of reading glasses because I leave them all over the house. And if you write books for a living for a long time, you will eventually go blind. Tape, printer cartridges, pens. Who doesn't need pens? This is where I keep my microphone when I'm not using it. This is my favorite stationery. I will tell you why. Because it used to be when you did a signing at Book Passage in San Francisco, they would send you a thank you gift of personalized stationery, which is about the nicest thing. That's one of the nicest gifts I've ever gotten. Let's see, what do we have here? Crap ton of bookmarks from 15 Minutes of Shame. Oh, you'll notice these have a margarita recipe on them. I'll give you a link to the recipe if you're interested. Scissors, more staples, little external drive, some stationery, etc. Right? All hidden away. And plenty of space to keep multiples of my addiction, which is basically little tiny journals and notebooks. So as you might have noticed, my office is full of these sort of kitschy, beachy little details. If it's beach-oriented and happy and tropical, I probably have it in my office. And the reason for that is the beach is really the place where I feel the most inspired. And as I tend to write romantic comedies that are set at the beach, usually in Sarasota, which is my favorite city in the world, I really want that happy, light, fun feeling in my office. I'm really all about the happiness. This is like what makes me happy. And I want the joy that I feel here and the joy that I feel with writing to come out in my books, and I want the reader to experience that same sense of whimsy and goofiness and joy that I have in my life. So thank you so much for taking a tour of my office with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about my writing process, or if there's something you would like to see me talk about in a future video, definitely let me know. I am totally open to your ideas. Thanks for coming over. I hope to see you next time.